is live in Phoenix, Arizona, and guess what? Some lawmakers want another new law having to do with illegal immigration. Now, this new law, if passed, would deny American citizenship to the children of illegal immigrants. Joining us live is Arizona State Representative John Kavanaugh. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
That seems a rather radical law.
Well, not really. It would simply make us conform with what almost every other nation on this planet has as its policy. You become a citizen when you are the child of a citizen of the country.
So that means that if, let's say that you had a parent who was here on a green card, and but not a citizen of the United States, get a birth certificate or not, that was born here?
Well, there'd be no birth certificate. You would have to be the parents of a citizen of the U.S.
All right. Now, the U.S. is the one who bestows citizenship. So what happens here? You just don't get an Arizona birth certificate that you were born?
Well, we haven't worked out the actual tactic, but it probably will revolve around the birth certificate issuance. We're still working on that. The whole idea is let's get this back to the U.S. Supreme Court and have it definitively define who is a citizen, because the current definition is based on what I believe to be a faulty interpretation of the 14th Amendment.
So you are creating an issue that you want the Supreme Court to take up. Is that fair? That you really, I mean, the whole idea of, you know, if you're born here in this state, and if you have parents who are not citizens of the United States, I mean, you're still born here. You still have, I mean, it still happened here. But the whole issue of whether or not you're a citizen really is a matter for the federal government. You're still you're not going to be denied citizenship. It seems more like a gesture to the Supreme Court to consider rather than a serious matter.
Well,
or is it?
We're hoping it gets there, and we're hoping that they look into the actual history of the 14th Amendment. The author of the 14th Amendment clearly stated that citizenship under it should not be bestowed upon foreign aliens. It was simply a matter of giving citizenship to blacks as a matter of fairness.
Have you gotten any response from your colleagues on this?
Positive. You know, Arizona has a lot of problems with illegal immigration, and we've been slowly attacking it because the federal government hasn't. We've taken away benefits, we've attacked jobs. SB 1070 is increasing enforcement by recruiting local and state police. Now, yet one more magnet that attracts illegals, citizenship for children.
Has Governor Brewer, have you had any conversation with Governor Brewer about your proposal?
Not yet. This is still in the formative stages. The bill itself will be introduced in January.
So has it actually been written yet, so this is a concept?
No, it's a concept, but it will come out. We just want to make it perfect. Like SB 1070, we want to cross all the T's, dot all the I's before we unveil it.
I'm having a hard time figuring out how it can ever be sort of realistic in terms of it seems to me more of a way to tell people how you feel about illegal immigration, only because you can't deny someone's citizenship.
Well, we can bring the issue before the court and have them change the ruling. There's only one other developed country in the world, Canada, that gives birthright citizenship. Almost every country in the world doesn't. It makes no sense to give citizenship to a tourist's child that happens to be born.
That's what I'm talking about.
The state of Arizona
Fucking idiotismus, basz meg, beszarok.
We hope to get the case.
Végre valaki úgy gondolkodik, mint
én. Looks into legislative history, sees that the intent was never to give it to foreigners or tourists, and gives it the proper definition which the framers of the 14th Amendment wanted from the first place.
Right. So that I understand, because I confess that I'm a little bit of an issue, is that so if you're born here and you have illegal parents, born here meaning in this state, you get no birth certificate.
No, you would get a birth certificate.
What do you get?
We may very well put down non-citizen. We haven't worked out the details yet, but it'll be something that catches the attention of the federal authorities who will challenge us, and then we'll work up the judicial ladder, hopefully to the Supreme Court, and resolve this issue once and for all.
Well, I'm thinking if I were a parent of a child, or if a lawyer for a child who had a birth certificate that said non-citizen, but then had an address having been born in a hospital here in the United States, I think that I would challenge anyone who's trying to say that my client didn't have citizenship.
We welcome the challenge, and let's get into the courts, and let's have this decided once and for all.
How do you quantify the seriousness of the illegal immigration problem here? I mean, how upset are people?
Very upset. And not just here. I mean, we passed SB 1070, which cracks down on illegals, and we have polls nationwide showing 60–70% support for this bill. Everybody's upset because the federal government is looking the other way, and illegals are coming over the border like a tsunami, and it's causing economic problems and crime problems and great government expense. It has to end.
All right. Well, I can see that you have illegal immigration problems in this country. I don't think you're going to get any place with your bill, but we'll watch it.
We have more on the way.
All right. Anyway, thank you, sir. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.
We are live in Arizona, and just across the border in Mexico, it is war. Drug cartels slaughtering people daily. It's unbelievable. It's so far beyond your wildest imagination how violent it is. But Can we stop that deadly violence from bleeding into the United States? The U.S. Marshal assigned to the state of Arizona, who is dead center in this fight, is here next. And then you see, you're on Vandersloot's new